Warm greetings from the High 10. It is Everyday Shenanigans on this Monday, August 24th, 2020. I'd like to bring you a horrific, just harrowing story out of Detroit, Michigan. Just outlandish and I don't got enough words to describe this story because this is just damn crazy what I'm about to bring to you. If you need verification for the storyline, honey, please log on to ABC News. Here we go. Okay. Declared dead by paramedics. Young woman found alive at Detroit funeral home. The fire chief says the paramedics attempted to revive the woman for 30 minutes. Yeah, put that on paper. Woman declared dead, found alive at funeral home. Officials say paramedics attempted to revive the young woman for 30 minutes before pronouncing her dead, but staff at a funeral home later discovered that she was still breathing. Workers at a Detroit funeral home discovered a young woman breathing hours after she was declared dead by paramedics and was sent to the mortuary by her grieving family, authorities said. The woman, whose name has not been released, was found alive on Sunday at the James H. Cole Funeral Home and taken to a hospital, authorities said. Make sure you remember what I just said. Hospital. Okay. While it is our practice not to comment on open investigations, we can confirm that on Sunday, August 23rd, 2020, we received a call to pick up a Southfield woman who was deceased, the mortuary said in a statement to ABC News on Monday. Upon her arrival at the funeral home, our staff confirmed she was breathing and called EMS. The woman was declared dead after paramedics responded to a home in Detroit suburb of Southfield around 7:34 a.m. on Sunday on a call of an unresponsive female, Chief Johnny L. Menifee of the Southfield Fire Department said in a statement. Menifee said the woman was not breathing when paramedics arrived at her home. The paramedics performed CPR and other life-reviving methods for 30 minutes, Menifee said. Given medical readings and the condition of the patient, it was determined at that time that she did not have signs of life. Since there was no indication of foul play, the paramedics contacted the Oakland County Medical Examiner's office as part of standard procedure and relayed the medical data about the woman they thought had died, Menifee said. The patient was again determined to have expired, and the body was released directly to the family to make arrangements with the funeral home of their choosing, Menifee said. But an official at the Oakland County Medical Examiner's office told ABC News on Monday that it was not involved in declaring the woman dead and referred all questions to the Southfield Fire Department. Now put that on paper. The medical examiner is saying that they are not involved in declaring the woman dead and referred all questions to the Southfield Fire Department. Okay. In an effort to respect the privacy of her family, the Southfield Fire Department is not currently releasing personal information on the patient, Menifee said in his statement. Staff at the James H. Cole Funeral Home contacted the Detroit Fire Department after they took the woman to the funeral home and noticed she was alive, Dave Fornell, Deputy Commissioner of the Detroit Fire Department, told ABC News. Fornell said the call the fire department revived from the funeral home was for a person having difficulty breathing and that an emergency medical services crew didn't know the full story until they arrived. They did the normal medical interventions and that's when the funeral home told them that she was to be embalmed and all that. It kind of surprised us. We couldn't believe it, Fornell said. He said the woman was taken to Sinai Grace Hospital in Detroit. Hospital officials declined to release information on her. I talked to our medical people and they said she was breathing. She had a decent heart rate. She had decent blood oxygen, but she was definitely alive when we got here. There, Fornell said. The Southfield Police Department is investigating the incident. This is brought to you by ABC News. And I'm very confused about what I just read to you. So now the medical examiner is trying to what? Put blame on the fire department? Well, the fire department don't claim you dead. They just come to the scene of a fire or injured person and or unresponsive, because now the fire department does that instead of the ambulance. So if the fire department came and got her, they took her to the hospital because the article states she went to the hospital. They say paramedics responded to a home in Detroit. So that means responders went to a house. They performed CPR for 30 minutes. Life-reviving methods. And it was determined that she did not have any signs of life. So then it says, no indication of foul play. The paramedics contacted the Oakland County Medical Examiner's Office. Let's keep them in mind. As part of standard procedure and relayed the medical data about the woman they thought had died, Menifee said. The patient was again determined to have expired and the body was released directly to the family to make arrangements with the funeral home of their choosing. So see, this is where I'm confused. They performed CPR. The paramedics contacted the Oakland County Medical Examiner's Office as part of standard procedure, relayed the data, and they're saying thought she had died. And so the patient was deemed expired and released to the family. So what you're trying to tell me is what? The fire department paramedics took the body where exactly? Did you take her to the hospital? Did somebody at the hospital check her pulse, check her vital signs, wrote down on a piece of paper the time of death, put her in that little room, closed her up, then somebody claimed the body, took her out that same room, the little box, laid on a slab without being covered up or in a bag. You rolled her out of there uncovered, out that little box. And then she gets to the funeral home, and the funeral home people realize she's alive. See, this is where I'm confused, because it's looking like she didn't get checked out at the hospital to be declared dead by a medical examiner. And I thought that happened with everybody when they pass away. That once you're taken out your home and they try to revive you inside your home and or outside or inside the ambulance, you're deemed dead. They take you into the hospital. I thought a medical examiner looks you over, because that's to make sure there was no foul play or, you were bludgeoned, shot, whatever. You see where I'm going with this? And then once they realize everything looks okay, then they go search for your relatives and let them know that you have died. It looks like the ambulance fire department just made a phone call to the medical examiner office, gave the said stats on the lady, and he said, or she said, all right, cool. Go call the family. You mean to tell me this lady died? Where exactly? This is where I'm having a problem. Did she die in the hospital, to your knowledge? Did she die in the ambulance, to your knowledge? Where did the paramedics take the victim? Because it says they took her to the hospital. So if you took her to the hospital, why wasn't there a medical examiner there to look at the body, examine the body, and write down on a sheet of paper victim's name, this and that, time of death? You see where I'm going with that? Why is the fire department notifying the medical examiner and she's not being checked by a medical examiner? This is weird. Poo. Lord, drop your comments below and tell me what you think, because this is some odd mess right here. And somebody's at fault. And you know good and well they're going to sue, because something ain't right with this story. That she was not thoroughly examined to be deceased, nor declared dead on a sheet of paper. Just ambulance, took to a hospital, talked to somebody over the phone, then took back from the hospital to a funeral home, go to the funeral home. Now the funeral home people are calling you back to say, hey, you got a live one here. I'm done. Like, share, subscribe, drop your comments below. Thanks for joining me on this Monday. Have a prosperous week, safe week, mask up. Whew. Tell me what you think about this. Please tell me, because this is buffoonery and outrageous. This is everyday shenanigans. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.